Plus, with Valentine's Day around the corner, we talked to one jeweller offering diamond engagement rings at a whopping 25 to 30% less than high street prices.
The prices anywhere, whether you go to Antwerp, New York, Dubai, South Africa, I'll beat the prices, so long as you're comparing like with like, you know. And basically you're sitting in Antwerp here, the only overhead I have is this room, and that's it.
You're welcome back. With Valentine's Day around the corner, plenty of couples will soon be shopping for that all-important engagement ring.
The average spend on an engagement ring is €5,000, but with price an issue now more than ever, how can you spend less without sacrificing quality? One man is doing just that by supplying diamonds direct from Antwerp. Searching for the perfect ring, meet newly engaged couple Bernadette Garvey and fiancé Jim Stapleton, who popped the question in Morocco recently after a 5.5-year courtship.
It was the very last night, at the very end of dinner, just before we left the restaurant. Yeah, I mean, I think it took all his courage. I was completely shocked. It was an absolute surprise. I had no idea he went and bought the token ring or anything. So
now Bernadette is looking for a 3-stone diamond to seal the deal, but instead of going the traditional route to a jeweller's, she went online and discovered Seamus Fahy of Voltaire Diamonds, who buys in stones direct from Antwerp.
It was a Saturday, so we came in, I think it was 4 o'clock on a Saturday evening, which is great because obviously work Monday to Friday, and sat down, went through the rings and just left, didn't feel pressured at all, which is another thing actually with some of the high street stores and Grafton Street. They were ringing me daily, a few of them. I was so surprised, like, you know, I mean, I wasn't spending $500,000 on the ring, but I did feel pressure from people, and that's, you know, genuine.
Okay, I really like that one, so I suppose it's just really looking at cost then.
Sure. Well, that ring, you know, in white gold is available anywhere.
Limerick graduate Fahy fell into the diamond business after a chance conversation.
At a wedding about 4 years ago, I met a diamond trader from Antwerp, and we had a quick chat. He explained to me the difference between the wholesale price of diamonds and the retail price of diamonds, and I saw a big gap.
How big is that gap? I mean,
it's fairly substantial.
Right.
You know,
are we all getting ripped off, basically?
Well, you know, a typical jewellery shop has huge overheads. You know, it's got the rent, it's got the rates, it's got, you know, staff levels, stock levels, high insurance, security costs. My business model has eliminated all of those. The only overhead I have is this room. You know, so, you know, my prices are substantially more competitive than your typical jeweller.
How substantial?
Well, versus a typical jeweller, probably 25 to 30%. You know, but then there's some big brands in Dublin where I'd probably be 40, 50% less, because some people are paying for that brand.
So what happens when someone comes along to buy a ring? And is it mostly men these days, or are they coming as couples?
No. My customer base is probably 15% guys on their own. The other 85% would be the couples. Okay. An awful lot of guys now, they propose with promise rings, you know, silver and cubic zirconia. Yeah. And then they come together and choose the ring.
So you bring them in here, you show them all these. Now, none of these are in these displays. They're not real diamonds, right?
No. You know, I've over 300 styles of engagement rings that I show couples when I meet them. They're silver and cubic zirconia, but they look like the real thing. But for security reasons and for working capital, you know, I'd be crazy to have all these in real diamonds.
Okay.
You know, so yeah, generally the couple that contacts me either by email or on the phone, we arrange a consultation. I have offices here in Dublin city centre. You know, we go through all the styles, we discuss price ranges, and once we agree on everything, style, price range, the finished product is ready 2 to 3 weeks later.
Okay, so let's say I wanted, let's say I'll pick out this ring, okay? You could get that in a couple of different carats and different clarities, is it? I mean...
Exactly.
So what's the best clarity you can get?
The best clarity is flawless, but only about 1% of the world's diamonds are flawless, and therefore very expensive.
Right.
So very few of my clients buy flawless stones.
So what's a kind of a common purchase then? I mean,
common purchase, you know, the most popular ring style at the moment is still the round, brilliant solitaire. You know, a lot of ladies now like diamonds on the shoulders. Very popular as well is would be 3-stone rings, still very popular. Vintage style is very popular at the moment, which is kind of like vintage but a halo style, so little diamonds surrounding the centre stone. That's very popular at the moment also.
Do you give all the same guarantees and certs that normal jewellers would?
Absolutely. Every ring I sell, before it before it's delivered to the client, it's independently checked here in Dublin by an independent jewellery valuation company. And they check it, they check that the diamond is real. If it's certified, they check that the diamond matches the certificate, and they prepare an insurance valuation. So it gives everybody peace of mind.
There you go, Brian. Your Valentine's Day gifts are